Welcome to the Dr. Wallace Podcast with Nana Boafo Tigare, who is our guest, who's being channeled by Nana Korantemaa Ayeboafo. I call it a party because every time Tigare comes, we feel such joy and such love. And so here we go. Let's get this party started. Now, first, I'd like to just make a few acknowledgments. In terms of that beautiful opening music, we should know that it's from the CD that Nana Korantemaa made called The Greatest Love by Nana Korantemaa Ayeboafo. It's an award-winning CD where she's playing authentic handmade drums or percussion instruments on 8 of them. And then she's also singing on 3 tracks. So it's a pretty remarkable piece of work. And it's actually available on our website. And so in the description below, you'll see the link to our website so that you can actually download those songs, that song as well as others. I'd also like to acknowledge that you see our sponsors or our producers are the Asona Aberade Shrine and StarSpirit. StarSpirit is actually the non-sectarian arm of the Asona Aberade Shrine. And StarSpirit actually is a press as well. So we have StarSpirit Press that produces the CDs as well as our various books. I'd also like to just acknowledge that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Nana Aberade, Nana Okomfo Akuia Aberade. And so this is her book, which is also going to be available on the website. And please know that because of Nana Aberade, she founded the Asona Aberade Shrine, which is located in Philadelphia. And now she's also acknowledged as an ascended master. She was the high priestess of the Nene Akonede Shrine in Late Kubasi, Akwapum, Ghana. And in addition, I just want to acknowledge another African ascended master, Nana Enima. Part of what you'll learn is that the spiritual ceremony that the Okomfo are responsible for, where there is such excitement, drumming, dancing, singing, possession by the various deities and entities, that it was at Nakom that Nana Enima actually was dancing and she jumped up and she ascended and her physical body was never found. So we want to honor her as one of our African ascended masters. So here at this particular podcast, what we do is we share African spiritual healing wisdom. It's the wisdom that has always been available to us. It is our birthright. It is our heritage. Some thought it was lost, never lost, perhaps forgotten across some of the generations because of the way in which the African communities were disrupted, were destroyed through war and enslavement. So we honor our African ancestors in the process of introducing our podcast each and every time. Please remember to subscribe, like us, and share the videos and leave comments. So my gratitude for your doing that. So I have been asking Nana Boafo Tigare questions for a very long time. And today we have an opportunity to ask him questions about the book Celestial Prophecies. Celestial Prophecies, Ancient Wisdom from Nana Asi Ketewa, channeled from the third quarter of the heavens by Nana Korantemaa Ayeboafo. And again, you can order this book by going to the description and clicking the link below to our website. So let's begin what I hope will be a very exciting and heartwarming interview for you. So Boafo Tigare, in Celestial Prophecies, Nana Asi is described as the Ochaimi, or linguist of the House of Akonede, of Late Kubasi, Akwapum, Ghana. The shrine, or House of Akonede, is one of the oldest sanctums for the spiritual healing of humanity on the continent of Africa. Nana Asi is also known as the Queen Mother of the Spirits. Can you please talk about how we should know or understand Nana Asi?
Yes, Nana Asi is known as the linguist, or as you said earlier, the Achime for Nana Akonedi. Within Nana Akonedi pantheon, there are many Abosoms, and the Ohenis in Ghana, which is the high chiefs or the high kings, they always have an Ochime or an interpreter who is able to convey their messages and to receive responses from people. It is thought that Nana Akonedi too is a very high Abosom of wisdom and justice. She too has an Ochime, and that is Nana Asi Ketewa. Nana Asi Ketewa, we know her as the queen of the underworld. There are so many layers and dimensions to life that in the pantheon, from traditional Akan tradition, we find that there are many levels to the spiritual deities and support that they offer to human beings on the planet. So we think of Nana Asi Ketewa as the queen of the underworld. She is known to be able to see where human eyes cannot see. She is known to serve as a mother, to nurture children, and to support women in their being their most dynamic self, and at the same time that their intuition expands with every cognitive experience and lesson that they learn. So Nana Asi is very revered in the Nene Akonedi pantheon.
Thank you. So part of what is stated in the book Celestial Prophecies is that the information is coming forth from the third quarter of the heavens. How should we understand this?
That is very deep information that most human beings are not sensitive to, because basically the information about spiritual domains and about those areas of the world that is beyond the physical has been capsulated in a very small area of investigation. In fact, we know that when human beings can really understand themselves first and the dimensions and the dynamics of what they represent in the living space, then lots of layers of ignorance, layers of disease are shed. And so let us accept that as a mother who is one who opens her arms, one who is has the guiding energy of inclusion, is what now has become what is desired for all people to truly understand who they are and what life is totally about. So it is more for us to know that the feminine part of our lives is very deep, and that there are many quarters, there are many dimensions that need to be explored.
Excellent, wonderful. So Nana Asi describes the purpose of her book as bringing forth lessons for the enlightenment of humanity and to usher in a new golden age of enlightenment, or what is also called the Great Awakening, or era of abundance. Could you please speak on this also, Boafo Tigare?
Yes, Nana Asi, in her wisdom, wants everyone to know that the ignorance, the confusion, the misrepresentation of the divine life that each human being is privy to have is vast. It is enormous. And that when we can shed, the Abosoms can help human beings to shed this sense of separation and division and domination. When they can shed that and see themselves as one life force, as one humanity, as one being here to share with others, then there are enormous opportunities and potentials of bliss and of joy and of prosperity. So Nana Asi is wanting each person to know that it is their responsibility to truly look at themselves and see themselves as part of humanity, having sisters and brothers that they can embrace, that because they know how to be treated, they know how to treat others. And so the Abosoms are wanting human beings to galvanize their energy, galvanize their love and respect for one another, to enter into the golden age. Because the golden age requires critical mass of people functioning as one, without guilt, without violence, without envy, and all of the things that pull the dynamic, magnificent energy of human beings down.
Beautiful. A main goal of the book is for people to not be engulfed or overwhelmed by fear, since there may be dramatic changes involving the correction of misalignment. Nana Asi says that things must be split apart before they come together. Boafo Tigare, to what is Nana Asi referring when she describes this goal of the book? And what does Nana Asi mean by misalignment, or the process of achieving realignment?
The misalignment that is experienced all over the world is in fact by design, and it is the imbalance of the masculine and the feminine energy. That we each, to this point, we each have had to have a mother representing the feminine and the father representing the masculine energy to come together in order for there to be life and for life to flourish. However, in most societies, there is a domination by the masculine energies, or by men, to control and to dominate and not to want to share and be equal to women, to be equal to the feminine. So when there is an equality of the masculine and the feminine, there is a beautiful place to be, a beautiful opportunity to flourish in. And so Nana Asi sees that many human beings who have not been given the opportunity to truly understand that the feminine energy is in fact what gives us life. And so again, the mothers they open their arms. They are the ones that whose nature is that of inclusion, so that we see children and the family. Children are born through women. However, in traditional societies, women did not feel that they had to challenge men, and men did not feel that they had to challenge women. And so when men and women are able to treat each other with respect, to treat each other as the same, then their offsprings, their families, their communities flourish. And now during this time of the Great Awakening, all of our Abosoms want us to find equality, want us to find respect, want us to live with love for one another and for ourselves.
Excellent. Wonderful. So there's also this issue of dramatic earth changes and the possibility that as these are corrected as manifestations of misalignment, the need to correct the misalignment, what about this issue of people needing to avoid becoming afraid or experiencing fear?
Well, it is known that the opposite of love is fear. Those two things do not occupy the same space at the same time. So we are encouraging each person to love themselves. And we know that many people are taught to fear. When they do not understand something, they fear it. When they see things that are very different from what they're used to, they fear it. And so it is this energy that is very powerful that when turned to its opposite has the power and strength of cohesion, of removing dis-ease, of creating a space for each person to flourish. And that is where our earth, our celestials, that is where life is raising itself to at this time. And that is what is called the Great Awakening. However, to see the fantastic movement of the golden age is for more people to accept their oneness and to learn to love themselves and one another.
So Nana Asi also urges us to trust our intuitive knowing. And she informs us that this intuitive knowing inside of us is rising at this time during this era. And that if we do hear the media talking about earth changes, for example, that as opposed to the media instilling fear, let's say about an earthquake or a flood or something of that sort, that we are to trust our own intuitive knowing. What might you say about that, Nana Boafo Tigare?
I'd like to say that when a person knows really who they are, they can see themselves one with the divine creative source. And through that source, all things grow and flourish. There is nothing to fear. Fear, again, is the opposite of love. The earth and all things has to change. So within the change, because of the abuse to all of the natural elements by human beings, because of the abuse, the earth itself is rising to a higher octave, to a higher dimension, and shaking off the shackles of abuse and misalignment caused by, oftentimes, by the greedy ones who just see the earth and all of nature to make more money. So at this time of change, it is inevitable that we are, as human beings are here, that we all are going to see a new awakening, a new world, that rivers and seas are reclaiming their boundaries, that the earth in certain places is regurgitating the abuse or regurgitating the mishandling, so that the process of newness and of elimination of what is not to serve us is happening. So people need not fear. Rather, take this opportunity to know truly who you are. Go inside of yourself and ask yourself that question. Who am I, and what am I to do while I'm here to assist the earth and to assist humanity make this place a paradise that it was intended to be?
So where the greedy ones may have developed large swaths of land by putting cement and high cement structures and things of that sort, that when we see a flood or we see an earthquake, that is to be understood, as you said, as though the earth is kind of like shaking off the shackles. So that's a very powerful insight that you're offering us, and that we can trust our intuition and align with the divine at such times. So you've already gone into my last question, which involves Nana Asi's emphasis upon us viewing Earth as a paradise, and that we need to really prepare ourselves to be able to enjoy this paradise and to attain a new consciousness as we seek enlightenment. So, Boafo Tigare, what might be your final remarks on this subject?
Earth is a paradise. It is. And human beings, you came here to experience this paradise. However, you learned many things here. And when I say here, I mean in this life on earth, that really destroys that paradise. That many people only think about what material gain or what financial gain that they can get from nature and from the elements of the earth. When in actuality, what is most beautiful, what is most fantastic is the human being, him or herself. So I suggest that each person start every day of their life by first acknowledging and giving thanks for the breath and for the opportunity to experience a new day, and to look at themselves and say, how can I be of service to the human family? How can I treat my cohabitants with respect and with love, so that I can enjoy the paradise?
Absolutely beautiful. So we want to express our deepest gratitude, first for Nana Asi, who brought forth such powerful teachings, and also for Nana Asi sanctioning that Nana Boafo Tigare be able to answer these questions so that we can bring it to an audience. So I'd like for you to remember to subscribe, like us, share this video, and leave comments. And I actually have a question for you in the comments section. In the comments section, could you please answer, are you enjoying this Tigare party? And what teaching really touched your heart or impacted you today? We look forward to your comments. The party's going to continue. There'll be more videos. And I just remind you that both the CD, Celestial Prophecies, and Nana Asi's book are available at the Asona Aberade Shrine website. Look in the description and click that link. I want to express my deepest gratitude for your joining us today. And please accept all of my love, all of my gratitude for your being here. Thank you.